Hey guys, so I'm back. So today I'm going to be talking about an issue that has affected me in a way, and it's being gay and effeminate. But before I start, I want to say it's getting hot in Montreal. The summer is coming, and I'm rocking the bandana flag because Pride is gonna start soon, and yeah, so I'm excited, and you should be too. So okay, that was weird. Okay, so let's go back to the topic in hand. So, I am a gay black man who is effeminate, and being of that, category, yeah, it kind of affected me as I've grown up until now. I've been traumatized. I don't know if I'm traumatized, but it's affected the way I navigate in this world basically. So when I was young, let's go to the beginning. When I was young, I used to play with my dolls. I would walk a certain way. I would walk away in a way that heteronormative society dislike basically, because how should a man walk? I don't know. Like there's no right way to be in being a man, I guess. But anyway, when you live in when you're a part of the heteronormative society, then you know that there are certain ways that they want guys to act, right? And I didn't act that way. I would play with my doll. I would, um, when my mom didn't see me, I would put a bit of a mascara. I would wear her high heels. I would, I want to be a princess. I remember with my brothers, we had a group of friends. They were neighbors, and we from time to time we would play with them. You know, warrior things like my brother was he was a soldier and I was the princess. I always wanted to be the princess whenever we play with them. And when I was young, like it didn't affect me because I think I wasn't aware of maybe what people were saying about me, right? But people would look at me strangely. People would say, "Oh, look at Raphael, he's such a girl." And it's funny because when you're young, like you think it shouldn't affect you, but until this day, it kind of affects me a little bit. So it's like, he acts like a girl, he's a guy, why do you act like a girl? And when we were young, we would move around. We moved around a couple of times. So I went to different schools, and I remember going into one school, and people would say the same thing. They would always say, "Oh, look at Raphael. He's always acting like a girl." And awkwardly enough, around 8, 9, 10, 11, when I would hear people say that, it affected me to the point where I was afraid of people, and I still am afraid of people. Like I do make an effort. Like when I'm in a group, I do talk to people. I do laugh and talk, but I always make sure that I act in a way that when they look at me, they are not shocked. And in a way, I think it stems from me being young. I need therapy. Yeah, from me being young, and hearing people telling me how I should act, that forced myself to act the way people would want me to act. If I make sense, only if I make sense. I think I make sense. For example, when I was around 10, 11, and 12, and I understood that um, the way I'd walk, my mannerism, had an impact in the way people would see me, because um, people would like then call me, "Oh, you're a fag, you're gay." Um, there was one time a guy who was playing with a stick. I was in primary school in Canada, basically. He was playing. He had like a stick in his hand, and then he said, with people around, they said, "Oh, I'm sure you like that up your behind, because you know the way you act, ha 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 ha. And I remember people laughing. I laughed too, right? Because I was like, might as well laugh, because I don't think they were being mean, but it stayed with me, because like I'm in my 30s, and it's like it's still it still affects me, you know. And and let's just say that when hearing people saying effeminate in France, they tend to say, if you're like me, if you're like me, they'll say t'es folle. In Quebec, they'll say oh, une fille for gay, and for guys who people say they are flamboyant. And I remember at a certain point when I understood that my effeminate side, being gay and effeminate, had an impact in the way people would look at me, I started to look how my brothers would walk, how my father would walk. I would look how, at movies, and see how guys, since we live in a hyper masculine world, how guys would, their mannerism, and how they, they're a man, like they're just like, I would just look at that, and I would try to imitate it. I would like try to imitate it. And I realized that, and before I realized, I think I did it a lot in order to please society, in order to please people, because I'm scared of people. Because of all the things that happen to me, I'm scared of people. And of course, when I'm in a group, I don't show that I'm scared, but I always want to act a certain way. I always want to be, a certain way, because I don't want people to see me, in a way that they don't like, basically. Because I remember when I was talking to my dad, and I told my dad that I was gay, and he told me that when people would come, when his friends would come to our house, and they were always shocked because I was effeminate. So my dad told me that, and I was like, oh, it really hurt me, right? And yeah, so until this day, I really, when I'm always around people, I always try and act in a manly way, we'll say. And even when you go in the dating world, like when I was looking for a potential partner, for a man I would call my own, I remember, like, I would always say, well, what you always see, no gay, no blacks, no Asians, um, no effeminate. So, I was black and effeminate, and I was like, oh, oh dear. Like, oh dear. So even like in the LGBTQI society, well, same like in the gay spectrum, 'cause, some gay guys say you have to be a man. I don't want to date a guy that's, effeminate or sissy, as they would say. And when I would go on a date, I would make sure not to be too effeminate. And I remember every time I would say, so I would talk to a guy, I would say, so I'm a bit effeminate, but not too effeminate. Because I was afraid that it would scare them. But now I've decided that I am okay. Like okay, so I'm not okay. I'm not gonna act like I'm past. No, I'm not okay. I I'm still traumatized, and I'm trying to work in a way that if I am who I am, I act the way I act, and I don't want and I don't want to act in a way in a I don't want to please people, basically, you know. I want to get away from this hyper masculinity that is toxic. And if I'm effeminate, then I am effeminate. I don't see any problem anymore. Well, I'm still seeing problems, because I'm still, slowly getting out of that mindset. Because in my life, I've realized that because I was afraid of people and because I want to act a certain way to please other people, I've blocked myself. And I'm just looking, at the time, so how long I've been talking. So yeah, I'm all over the place. I think the vlog should be done by now. But that's just the way I am. When I do my vlogs, I talk and I talk and I talk and I go everywhere. But I want to say to people who are in the same boat as me, who are, viewed as effeminate, and we tell them that they shouldn't be this way. I'm not gonna say, you know, don't listen to them, because I'm still in a point where I'm just like, I'm starting to get out of that toxic mindset. But I would say love yourself. Love yourself. You can only love yourself, and you can be proud of yourself. And if you're effeminate, then you're effeminate. It's okay. So this is the end of the vlog, and bye guys. Bye.